way it was animated, just like the blood and the dun, 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 like, oh my god, it's Goku. He's
what?
You know what you know what I'm saying? It's like. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? What is good? The king! Yeah, the king of the landing here today, bringing you guys and gals finally. I understand, I know, you've been waiting for this. Well, at least some folks, at least I hope some folks have been waiting for this. Dragon Ball Super, the finale, episodes 129 through 131. Dragon Ball Super is officially over as far as I understand. As far as I know. When it comes to any future content for Dragon Ball as a whole, the only thing I know of at this point in time is the upcoming movie at the end of the year, 2018. I've seen a little clip of it where Goku's kind of hopping around. There's some guy that has some Saiyan look to him, greenish aura, he's powering up. I'm assuming it's ties to Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan God, I believe. Right, yeah. Essentially, that's all I know. If there's any other Dragon Ball series coming out for anime, I am unaware of that. I have no idea. All I know is that Dragon Ball, of course I know, Dragon Ball Super is over. What happens next? Not too sure. Now, that being said, when it comes to the video content at hand, these episodes have issues. Like yeah, they definitely have issues. However, there are some good things here in particular. In this case, the good of these episodes aren't completely snuffed out by the bad. Unlike the previous episodes, which were just like, they deserved a full-blown screed. But there were some good things among the filth. It's just that the filth and the doo-doo was so overwhelming, it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. But in this case, there are some things that I do appreciate. There are some things that are questionable, definitely questionable. And there are things that are just like, no. I'm sorry. No. The main episode here is episode 130. Episode 130 is where things get like, yes, but like, no, and like, why not? First and foremost, episode 129. The animation was... The animation was good. There were a lot of repeat scenes, but the animation was good. But it was fairly obvious that they were kind of saving their budget for episode 130, where the animation was like, Now, there were certain things that were just egregious, that just almost triggered me. Like, straight up, like, I'm triggered. Social justice, 1, 2, 3, woo woo. I want to beat I want to beat PC. Dude, straight up. The first thing was Vegeta's pick-me-up speech that he gave. He was talking to Belmont. Later on, he gives Goku like this pick-me-up speech, like, I'm putting all my pride into you. That was terrible. That hurt my soul. I prefer Vegeta over Goku by leaps and bounds. And the Tournament Power, I think, has done some good for Vegeta's character, particularly when it comes to Vegeta having his own. He has his own unique ability separate from Goku, ultimately. They call it the Super Saiyan Evolution. I call it Super Saiyan Ultra Blue. I don't care what they call it. Evolution, ridiculous. But Vegeta has separated himself from Goku in the terms of his abilities, at the bare minimum. And because of that, he is no longer in Goku, at least on paper, he is no longer in Goku's shadow, especially when you look at the end of the series, where Goku, he can no longer use Ultra Instinct, which we'll get to at like towards the tail of the video. Here is Vegeta on the bench, and the whole trust motif is being pushed even stronger than ever now against Jiren, and it's really cringe. Like, it really does hurt my soul. Anything where Vegeta has to kind of like submit, because we went through this before with Majin Buu. If I don't like it then, I'm not gonna like it now. Definitely not. Now after that, Goku, he starts this whole process of getting his mental state right. And this leads to his Ultra Instinct, the base Ultra Instinct, if you would, kind of grow and develop. But that process is weird because it's the suck. My brother and I, we watched the episode and we were both like, why is this dude just sucking? Like, I was like, what? Like, The suck was awkward. It was extremely awkward. Just Goku. What? Like, do you need a lozenge? Like, what's going on there, Goku? Now, from the premise of this is more of like an instinctual thing. Instincts are taking over, and so his body kind of has to do the whole to get his mind right, so he can dive deeper into instincts and then ultimately go beyond that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. It just kind of, the whole sucking thing kind of took me out of the moments. I know some people may enjoy the suck, but I wasn't enjoying the suck. Definitely, because it was so funny. It was like, wait, like here he's Jiren, like powering up, like, and then Goku.
What is that?
What? Bro, it was, yeah, okay. Now the next thing I want to talk about really briefly is Whis' commentary on Ultra Instinct. That was well welcomed on my part, because Whis was trying to break down what was happening to Goku at that moment. At the end of the day, the process by which Goku goes quote-unquote beyond instinct, true Ultra Instinct form, and how he is now finally truly in the realm of the gods. Okay, fair enough. And Whis, I thought, was a nice source of clarity with his commentary. Now, in truth, we don't know what it really means to go beyond instinct. Wherever that is... But that beyond is what allows Goku to, again, enter the realm of the gods and attain true Ultra Instinct. It's in the name, Ultra Instinct. It's instinct, but better. Way, way better. But again, I'll like some clarification on what that is, but that may not be something that can be defined, per se. And then afterwards, when it comes to the stands, mainly Krillin. It's like, stop. Just... Episode 129, Krillin was a huge offender of just blabbing. Vegeta was definitely... I understand, Belmont saying impossible like 80 times. Impossible. We get it. And Vegeta has to back his... my pride in Goku. Crap. But Krillin, for the entire tournament power, has him just mouthing off. And I understand from the standpoint of, well, the actress of Krillin is the same one for Monkey D. Luffy One Piece. So I guess from a notoriety standpoint, they have voice lines. Fair enough. But at the same time, there were some parts where it wasn't needed, especially in episode 130. It was like, dude, Krillin, like, come on. Like, seriously, stop. So when Beerus is like, yo, everyone, shut up. Like, now granted, that lasted for like maybe 2-3 minutes, and then they went back to it. But still, I enjoyed Beerus at least making the effort to tell them, hey guys, be quiet. Let these two just duke it out. And then we'll see what the results are, and then we'll accept the results. End of story. And then also I want to say very briefly that some folks are telling me that when Goku had the whole galaxy energy thing underneath him, that was actual galaxy. No. And then he finally goes into true Ultra Instinct with the silver hair and the silver eyebrows and with the usual silver eyes. I'm not a big fan of the image of Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan Blue, I definitely don't like the image. Just definitely do not. And Ultra Instinct I thought was actually relatively cool with the black hair and the silver eyes. But the silver hair, nah. That's my personal preference, obviously. Everybody we saw coming because of the news that was out before the episode aired, and lo and behold, we see it. And I know folks like the image. I just don't like the image. So that's, in a nutshell, episode 129. In my personal opinion, the best part about it was the Whis commentary. The Whis commentary was very well appreciated on my part. I did enjoy that, definitely. The intel was, I think, very necessary on what's going on here and ultimately going beyond instinct, Ultra Instinct. Again, it's in the name. But again, V's kind of explain what's going on here when he starts to close his eyes and starts to dive deeper, how he's shedding away his emotions, he's shedding away his perception of what's going on. And this is going to come into play in episode 130 because V says it's more so him and his opponent and focusing on the fight, diving deeper beyond instinct. And yet in episode 130, so let's get to it right now. Episode 130, the animation overall, the best out of the three by far. It was insane. It was intense. And the fight choreography was awesome. The dodging scenes were delectable. absolutely juicy. The scenes in particular that were really fire were after Jiren attacks the stands, which we'll get to later on. After he attacks the stands and Goku appears to get mad at Jiren. Jiren and Goku proceed to fight each other in stellar fashion, and I think the animator for that was Naotoshi and his team. Like, the fluidity of the animation, of the ki, of the punches, everything seemed like it was Naotoshi's style. And I would say that Naotoshi and his team are like my favorite bunch when it comes to animating stuff, definitely. I could be wrong. It could be someone trying to mimic Naotoshi's style, but it looks like him and his team. And that was some sexy stuff, and I love it. I appreciate that. That was fire. That was definitely fire. Things get wonky from jump, because after a lot of the initial fight stuff between Goku and Jiren, Jiren powers up to a whole new level. And Gohan and Vegeta had even commented that Jiren had awakened newfound level of power. He has an aura around his body that looks like the true Ultra Instinct aura. It is the same aura fluidity, the same type of aura texture, if you would, but the only difference here is that the hue is different, where in Goku's case, his hue is blue, and for Jiren's case, his hue is red. And that is the only difference between these auras. It could be wrong for me to say this, because I don't think it's even slightly confirmed, but it honestly looks like Jiren went Ultra Instinct, because he was already known to be stronger than Belmod. I'm not too sure if this was the state in which where he was stronger than Belmod, or a previous state. It's not really clarified. But if we take Gohan and Vegeta's words at face value, this is something new that Jiren is showcasing. Meaning not only from the standpoint of Universe 7, but also Universe 11 as well. But at the bare minimum, he's on the same level as Goku, if not superior, initially, when he powers up into this newfound state. Now again, whether it's Ultra Instinct or not, I'm not too sure. But if it is Ultra Instinct, then how come the gods of destruction aren't standing up? Oh, stand up. They stood for Goku last episode when he went Ultra Instinct, true Ultra Instinct, and Jiren having the same type of aura. You would also assume at that point in time, he is now also in the true domain of the gods. But they're not standing up in solidarity for Jiren. No, it's for, I'm like, wait, what? It's not confirmed in the episode what exactly is going on with Jiren at that point in time, meaning what realm he's in. But again, it looks like he's at Goku's level, if not greater, at least initially. Where is the gods of destruction standing up for Jiren? There's none of that. No. They give Goku all the love in the world. Like, oh, Goku, oh my god. Again, the details of that are unclear, and it kind of threw me off. And after that, Jiren kind of proceeds to beat down Goku. Like, Goku's doing his thing, but Jiren is superior. And all the while, Krillin had one speech in particular. I'm like, dude, please. Like, I had to mute it. I had to mute it until Krillin stopped talking, because it's annoying. The V's commentary is well welcomed. The Vegeta stuff for the last 4 episodes has been cringe, in all honesty. And the Krillin stuff has been cringe through and through. There are some times where it's like, okay, yeah, fine, fair enough. But with very few exceptions. And after all of that, Goku, hope, friendship, trust, stands back up and continues to stand time and time again, and it's dumbfounding Jiren. Because apparently Jiren, the whole concept of trust is foreign to him. Even though in the previous episode, he had enough faith, at the bare minimum, or expectation of Toppo to handle Vegeta. Not necessarily that he doesn't accept the concept, but the concept seems to be completely foreign to him. And that's also reinforced at the beginning of episode 131 when Frieza and 17, they save Goku, and he says, is this trust you talk about? Again, you had enough, whatever it was, to leave Vegeta to Toppo. So the concept shouldn't be completely foreign to him. But that's the notion that's being pushed when it comes to Jiren's part. Jiren's character thing has been inconsistent. Even though it's inconsistent, it all tends to be negative for Jiren's mental state, ultimately. So after it's all said and done, and they continue to fight, after being pressured by Goku, because seeing Goku stand up again, he's kind of freaking out. And then part of that freak out is him attacking the stands. The source of your power can be destroyed just like that. And then it gets Goku mad. Toei almost made this guy borderline villain, like straight up, in which... Now, this is where things throw me off completely. You have Goku attacking Jiren in a fit of rage. But this contradicts what we said in the previous episode. That Goku was shedding away all of these things to dive deeper into instinct. He makes that very clear. And the only thing that he cares about is himself and the opponent. Not even the possibility of losing the bout and his universe being destroyed. That is out of Goku's mind at this point as well. Everything seems to be out of Goku's mind, aside from himself and his opponent getting hotter, which is why we see the heat building up even more and more in the previous episode, episode 129. When you take Whis' words at face value, Goku being mad should equal, like, if not immediately, getting out of the true Ultra Instinct form. It's contradictory. Goku even talking kind of throws me off. He talked when he was Ultra Instinct, when he was fighting against Kefla for a bit. I figure that would be because of the imperfection of the form, where the true perfect Ultra Instinct form, Goku probably couldn't speak. Again, the talking, it's not really a big deal, but him getting mad? And then he was clearly mad, and that's what kind of throws me off. How is Goku able to maintain true Ultra Instinct form when he's clearly visibly upset at Jiren for attempting to kill his friends? And potentially, and here's where I need to make some hoops and loop-de-loops, potentially when you get into that state of beyond instinct, maybe you can, I guess, have emotions and that kind of stuff, but that's not noted at all in the anime, not even in the slightest, at least from the people that actually know what this form is, especially considering how Goku at the end of it all had a major backlash. So maybe, and again, this is just my perception, alright, but this is pure headcanon on my part. But maybe the real reason why Goku had a backlash on his body right before he can finish off Jiren is because he got upset. Maybe. But again, that's not noted at all in the anime. Ultimately, I just find it confusing. And in the future, I hope that we get more clarification on what mental condition and mental state he actually truly has to be. Unless Goku is unless Goku is even an exception in that regards, which he he very well may be. When it came to the concept of him just getting mad, that I think was poorly executed on the part of Toei Animation. It's one thing for him to continue because he has trust and he's carrying the hope of his friends and whatnot. That's something else. But to actually be visibly upset and then continue to attack in that state, again, that's where things do throw me off. Definitely. Then, after the fighting, or during the fighting, you have Vegeta have another pick-me-up. Kakarot! Beat Jiren! Beat him for us! Oh, God. Vegeta! Do it for us. Do it for the team. Do it for the team! Oh, no! Vegeta! Oh no! That was yikes. Now, after that final Kamehameha, Jiren, he's done. And Goku can knock out Jiren, but Goku suffers his backlash. And the way it was animated was crazy. His back had suffered massive damage. And the backlash of constantly going back and forth in between the realm of the gods, that kind of stuff, with Ultra Instinct, and his body being worn down. Finally. Because it looked like it was some okay, wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Let me just stop myself now, because I'm just remembering what went down episode 131. So it looked like for the time being that there was genuine backlash, and his body was genuinely done, and he genuinely couldn't muster anymore, and so on. I mean, again, the way it was animated, just like the blood and the like, oh my god, it's Goku. He's
what?
You know what I'm you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, like, this makes a lot of sense. You can argue many reasons to why this happened at this point in time, but it happened. It happened. Jiren, he knocks Goku off of the phone ring that they're on, and out come Frieza and 17. Frieza, we all knew that he was still active and whatnot. But if you want to talk about poor execution and completely takes you from the moment, again, Frieza's one thing. Frieza, we expected. It was obvious. 17? Now, in of itself, it does make sense to the degree of 17 blowing himself up to begin with didn't make sense. So it makes sense from the standpoint that it didn't make sense previously. But when you would now have confirmation from the Grand Priest himself, and listen, I know folks want to say, but the Grand Priest was X, Y, and Z. How often does the Grand Priest, as far as we know, at the bare minimum, he is vastly superior than the other angels? Whether he's on par or stronger than the bodyguards of Zeno, I don't know. He could be the third strongest being in the entire multiverse. He is a god among gods. And how often is this guy wrong? Like, goddamn. Like, seriously? He gave Jiren the no penalty. He's like, yo, Jiren, no penalty. 17 is alive. How often? Like, it's not a good thing. I'm sorry. No matter where you cut into a moldy cake, it's still covered in mold. It's still awful. That's not changing it. So, yeah, he was wrong, but someone of his caliber being wrong when he gave Jiren the no penalty? When he practically confirmed the death of 17? No, false, wrong. 17 alive. It's like, whether it makes sense or not, poorly executed. 10,000% poorly executed. And just completely took away from that moment. The animation bits were fire. There were some parts that were massive cringe, definitely. Krillin, Vegeta, massive cringe. Some parts that were questionable. Frieza returns. We're like, good. Yes. Now we're getting to this moment. 17.
What?
That's Looney Tunes. Absolutely goofy. Just what are we doing right now? Are we serious? Are we serious? 17 among the rubble. Just chilling there. Like, oh my god, it was a risk. Like, wait, what? Oh, come on, man. Toei, stop. Like, the poorest execution I've seen of almost anything involving any character in the entire Tournament of Power. Episode 130, for all of its ups, it has massive downs. And the things that are confusing. But the 17 part was like, what are we doing? Vegeta, stop. Krillin, stop. You're killing me. Jiren's character, it has more depth now. Yeah, I'm not denying that's true, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. I.e., what happened to Naruto at the end of Naruto. Like, his character plummeted. Yeah, he got more character depth and characterization, but my goodness, did his character just absolutely plummet. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Come on.
It's time to stop, okay?
Stop. Now, episode 131, the finale. Very briefly. Once again, Jiren's character under the assault of many people. In this case, Frieza. Essentially fortifying the notion that what is Jiren's confidence is his power, is his strength. And without that, his confidence and his mental fortitude shatters. Because Jiren is ultimately afraid. He's running away from his weak self. The second thing, you have a Kamina situation with Toppo. You may not believe in your strength, Jiren, but I do. Believe in the me that believes in you, essentially. And he powers up. Jiren now powers up again, and it's like, it's time. Like, this time, like, yeah. He does an arm wave, if you would, and he's blowing back 17 and Frieza. They're trying to withstand. comes Goku. Of course, the MC Goku couldn't just lay down forever. No, of course not. He needs a few more seconds. After that massive backlash, even Whis was sweating. After that massive backlash of being in the realm of the gods and going in and out for so long, for so often, he needs a few seconds and he's back. Okay, all right, he's back. Yes, he's not moving as good as he was, but he's back nonetheless. And he's there to assist Frieza 17 in countering the power of Jiren. They have a plan to take out Jiren. Okay, cool. 17 in the backlines, long range. Frieza and Goku going in there by themselves. That was cool. That I thought was fire, definite fire. And as the fight continues between Goku, Frieza, and Jiren, you have, at the tail end of this exchange, Goku slowly but surely in and out going into Super Saiyan. Apparently, Whis sweating and this massive backlash of the gods and the crazy blood animation and all that stuff, he just needs 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and he's clean. It's like, come on! If he was still in base mode, alright, it's questionable, but I suppose we'll take it. Whatever. It's not too egregious. Still egregious, but not that bad. He goes in out of Super Saiyan. Man. Again, the animation, the choreography was fantastic. But if you just give it even the minimal amount of thought, it's very similar to what happened with Vegeta. Vegeta used this massive area of self-destruction, and he's alive. Okay, fair enough. But he can go into Super Saiyan Ultra Blue, Evolution, whatever you call it, in the next episode, even though Beerus himself stated that Vegeta can't do anymore? Again, how are we really willing to accept angels and gods of destructions and supreme beings like the Grand Priest? Are we really, really willing to accept that these guys are wrong that often? If that's the case, then they're not as supreme as we think they are. That's for definite sure. And at the end of it, 17 is the one that makes the wish for the Super Dragon Balls, which in of itself, I can see why folks liked it, but I didn't really care for it. But it does show you that 17 has made some progression to being more human and more like Goku throughout this entire tournament. Like pre-tournament and then throughout the entire tournament itself, and now post-tournament where he's the one that makes the wish, ultimately. Okay, fine, fair enough. So his character has made some progression in that realm. I'm not comparing him to 17 of Dragon Ball Z, because in all honesty, this is an entirely different character. From jump, he was an entirely different character. It's wild. So 17 does that. Universes are back. Cool, fair enough. Apparently the Zenos had foreseen this. Now, this does give Zeno some character depth, or the Zenos, which is fascinating. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It is fascinating that the Zenos get character depth, though that ultimately means that the tournament power is there for Zeno's amusement mainly. Because yes, under the premise of if someone had made a selfish wish, then they all get erased. Fair enough. But at the same time, since he had already foreseen it, it doesn't really matter. He had already foreseen that someone's gonna make a benevolent wish involving the other universes. The grand scheme of the tournament was the threat of universe erasing. That underlining threat has no value. It has, honest to God, no value. Then after that, we finally get into the end segment where they're back on planet Earth, and then we have the theme song and everything going on. It was really nice. I was like, yes. After Frieza had been brought back to life, Frieza back in action. It's time for some more villainy. Hopefully, Frieza keeps on training, gets stronger, and he once again becomes the prima bad guy that he was. Yes. Frieza back in action for me. Well, I'll be damned. That is good news to me. So, Frieza, listen, Previously, at the beginning of this whole Tournament Power, I wanted Majin Buu in there, because Majin Buu, he really needs some character stuff. But Frieza has been a treat. He has been a treat. Even towards the tail end, where the whole trust thing is on Frieza, shonen kind of stuff, I'm not going to knock him too hard for that. But after the trust is all said and done, he's back in action, pure villainy. That is a breath of fresh air for me, definitely. And then finally, Goku cannot use Ultra Instinct anymore when you have Goku and Vegeta fighting in Super Saiyan Blue form. And ultimately, to me, that means Vegeta and Goku are now once again equals, because the Ultra Blue, whatever you want to call it, evolution, is, as far as we know, on the same tier as Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue. But that will come back. Definitely. Easy. Goku hasn't really mastered Ultra Instinct, and he just can't hop into wherever he wants to. It's a form that he probably has, though, if his life is in real danger. Definitely, I don't doubt it. That being said, I am done. Overall, from an actual storytelling standpoint, animation's one thing, because all the episodes had a good animation overall, and it was fire to see them. But from a storytelling standpoint, Dragon Ball Super has been lacking, especially when the first 2 arcs are literally based off of movies. That's not a good thing. And even though it has some good parts, like for me personally, I think Gohan, the Tournament of Power has been really good for Gohan. But that's really it. Vegeta had some good stuff, but ultimately at the end of it, it's the same Boo thing at the end. The same thing. Different time, different place. And Goku is Goku. Jiren, I had hopes for Jiren. I really did. But the fact that they made him so mentally weak, and let's keep it real here, just to make Goku look better. That is a goddamn shame. So, I'm going to do a show on Dragon Ball Super, bring in some tier 3 cats on Twitch, we'll talk about Dragon Ball Super overall. But that being said, I'm done. I'm going to see you guys and gals later. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. I guarantee you that. Because I know that you all have a device called Zamaosu. You use Zamaosu to click, rate the video, to click, subscribe, to click on that bell to join the squad, and of course, comment in the comment section down below. Peace, and have a nice goddamn day.